So there's been some word about chapter 931, some spoilers, and then some scanlations, whatever. So if for anyone who wants to know what's been said, basically I'm gonna pretend to be a YouTuber and do the whole chapter review, even though that's not really who I am, but whatever. So there's page one, and then Sanji invisibility suit, which I think is awesome. His family actually gave him something that wasn't shit. Everyone was like wondering whether it's gonna be a girl suit or something to humiliate him because they hate him, but it's actually just something to spread the power of Gurma. They now respected him. They realized he was just as strong as they were, and they finally acknowledged him and given him something worthy of their army, something that everyone will recognize as Gurma technology because it's in the damn comic books. So I thought that was actually a really nice touch to start with, and I got that bit spoiled really early because I always open the spoiler threads before I should, but then I just read the first line and then I quit. But today the first line was Sanji gets raid suit, invisibility, stealth suit, and I was like, damn it. But then so the Shogun, whatever, and then a suspicious room. I thought this was Kamurasaki for ages when I saw the spoiler images or whatever, but it's actually Robin, and you should be able to just tell by the nose. But I forget what Kamurasaki looks like, and I really suck at telling Oda's female characters apart. They're all so similar, but yeah. So Robin's already looking for poneglyphs, and freaking a billion ninja appear, and so this is a scary situation, but she's got one chance to get out of it. And there's a captain of this crew of the strongest ninjas that guard the Shogun, the strongest ninja in all of Wano. Basically, Raizo times 10, basically, maybe more. Some of these people even stronger than Raizo, many times stronger, perhaps, who knows. And they look like they won't be they're not going to be as strong as say Cracker or anyone by any means, but these people are maybe as strong as Doflamingo's crew, some of Doflamingo's non-executive crew members. I doubt anyone here is as strong. There's a guy who looks like Gladius, so maybe they're Gladius level, some of these people. I doubt there's anyone who's as strong as say Diamante even out of these guys. Maybe the captain if he's a fighter, but I'm not sure if he's a fighter. But maybe the Shogun himself will be the Diamante. Basically the Shogun, even though he looks like a joke character, he looks a lot like these people, and he looks a lot like Raizo. They're all huge. It's like ninja have learnt to extend their bodies beyond normal means, and for some reason it's only the ninja in Wano who seem to be huge, other than Kaido, whose haki probably is part of. I've been thinking this. Big Mom and Kaido both being the same sort of size and both being Yonko, it seems to be brought up a lot, whereas Shanks isn't. But it's this idea that maybe when you're an intensely powerful human, you just grow huge, like Whitebeard as well. But then Gold Roger was sort of in between, not really as tall as Whitebeard, but bigger than most men. But then Shanks, his next protege, was just normal size, pretty much just 2 meters. Now Luffy's even a little bit shorter. They're all shrinking ever since the age of Rocks and Whitebeard and whatnot, and Kaido and Big Mom when they were all huge to dominate. Now we've got Luffy at 1.7 meters or something, and he's about to take on all of these people. Or will Big Mom be on his side? Let's see what happens. So then you get to this bit where it's the beach that Luffy washes up on, and Tama's worried about Luffy with Momo, and then suddenly Big Mom appears, and it's what the fuck? And you're scared she's about to wake up, whatever, and then boom. If she wakes up, she'll kill us, but then instead she wakes up and she's where am I and who am I? So basically she drowned to some extent, and in the same way as Luffy when he got pushed in here, she survived, somehow got pushed onto the beach, the waterfall just sucks you up or something, and instead of dying, they've woken up in this exact same beach right near where Tama lives, and instead of Big Mom being angry, she's also in a state of complete memory loss, even at the level of who she is. the only homie she seems to have with her is Napoleon, who conveniently can't seem to talk as much as the other two, as far as I remember. So I doubt Napoleon will be able to remind her. Prometheus might be dead because she was underwater, and Zeus is taken. And so his big mom with no memories of who she is. Where is this going to go in the plot? Could Big Mom end up as an ally somehow in this situation? There's so much going on between the two crews, respect between crew members, that the only real problem is that they've humiliated her. If Big Mom were to have a change of heart for the Straw Hats and forgive them for all the shit that they've done, which is considerable, it would be huge. But if Luffy could ally with Big Mom for some reason, it would have to be a very good reason in the plot for anyone to accept this. But if it's possible, I feel like Oda's the one writer who could make it happen. And I've sort of predicted this earlier, but I have a feeling that maybe, and so spoiler alert now, because this is like me thinking about certain connections that might come up, but probably won't, or in my mind they could easily come up, but it's just about Mother Caramel, and the way she just disappeared conveniently, happened to be a very powerful user of a devil fruit that Big Mom happened to wake up as the user of after she disappeared, and presumably ate all of these kids, which is unconfirmed and uncanon, but is this very strong fan theory that seems to just be taken as canon today, that she ate all of them, whereas in my opinion it's not necessarily what happened. And spoiler alert, my theory is that basically Miss Carmel just took over as a sort of non controlling consciousness within Big Mom, but basically a second conscious that maybe is latent but emotionally attached to Big Mom, her soul basically living on through Big Mom, and sort of passing her devil fruit powers to Big Mom by fusing her soul with the soul of Big Mom, sort of the equivalent of the immortality surgery for the Opi-Opi no Mi. It's like the Soru Soru no Mi's final power. You sacrifice your body, your physical life, for the sake of living on inside someone else beyond your years. And so she found Lin-lin, and she realized that this was her perfect opportunity. She trained Lin-lin up and protected her and gave her everything and defended her against the giants of Elbaf, and earned Big Mom's love and affection and trust because she was the one person that she could believe in and trust. But in the end, she was the mountain witch. She was selling these children as marine slaves, and the only reason she wanted Big Mom was to be the host and to live on inside her. And so now we've got Big Mom finally free of Mother Carmel, maybe. She's woken up on this beach and she's finally saying, "Who am I?" And to me, this is that 5-year-old Big Mom from all the way back then when she first got taken over. She's woken up and she's forgotten all of those years in between where she was taken over by Mother Carmel and the hunger tantrums, which she already had, to be fair, but she wouldn't intentionally kill people when she was 5. These hunger tantrums grew more violent, more hateful over the years, and she became the Big Mom of today. Whereas as a 5-year-old, she was the most loving, caring, compassionate sort of kid. She was just way too strong and sometimes killed the people she cared about by accident. But then the Big Mom that we see much later is like evil, evil, evil. So it's like, to me, there's a connection there, and I feel like Mother Carmel has finally gone, and we're going to see a different Big Mom from now on. And my theory about why she's gone is because she was under the sea for that long. Maybe one of them had to die, but in the time that it took, Mother Carmel, her soul was weaker, obviously, because she's like been alive for way too long and just living as a parasite inside of Big Mom's powerful soul. In the end, it's Big Mom's soul that won and survived long enough for maybe that octopus or something to save her, like the octopus might have saved Luffy and thrown them on this same beach. Because that's way too convenient in my mind for Oda to not explain why they both happen to survive and happen to land at the same spot. Like, it could be an ocean current, I guess, but I think it's more likely that it was like something like that octopus, which is like, why is it doing this? But oh well. So yeah, that's my theory anyway, and yeah. Vive la One Piece.